Hi guys, new haircut, same me. For what it's worth, I cut my own hair. I did finally do a symmetrical kind of, I don't know how you call that, whatever that was. I did it myself. I used some leftover pigments that I have, and here we go. I am very much ready for the beach season because I am very done fiddling with my hair when you constantly go in and out of water. I'm very excited for a little vacation that I'm about to have, and what it means that we are about to see all the purchases that I've saved up to show you, and after that, when I'm gone, I will cease to do any shopping, promising myself. I'll cease to do any shopping. I'll have a no-buy September, more or less. At least it will be a low buy. No, it's gonna be no buy. It's gonna be no buy. So let's indulge while we can. First of all, I got this amazing care package, like a quarantine love package for a friend of mine who also happens to be getting into niche perfumes alongside with me. I claim at least 50% of responsibility for that. So she got herself a sample set from Atelier Bloem, and I think she got it from actually from the official website in the States. Tried them all. I think she ordered one or two, and she just shared the goods. So I have here all the samples from Atelier Bloem that I accumulated over the years. So I'm very excited to start wearing them. We'll see when I get to it. I'm thinking maybe like end of September kind of brand review. What do you guys think about it? Because I do have a few bottles by Atelier Bloem, but I must say they are a bit dichotomous as a brand. Some of their stuff is so experimental that it verges on the edge of unwearable. So I don't know. It's a hard brand to review, but if you're into it, I'll do it. You just let me know. Do you, by the way, like, do you own any Atelier Bloem? Any interest in buying any? Because I can sample all of these by myself. I don't have to put on the work to actually produce a full brand review. But if there is any interest, if it's gonna help anyone out there who is also looking for more kind of contemporary niche houses, I'm game. Just let me know in the comments below. The next is a bottle that took for me a long time to get because I felt that I kind of filled not only niche, I have like a whole shelf dedicated to all kinds of resinous, spicy, incensey kind of perfumes. I have absolutely astonishing selection that is more than enough for 3 of me to wear till like the end of times. But it was very hard to resist because Carner Barcelona Megalium was in a really good sale on Fragrance Buy Canada. So I kind of, like, I know I don't need yet another one. And I also have Carner Barcelona Parfum, which is even more incensey. But Megalium, it's just, when I read the notes, when I read the description, I couldn't. The price was too good too. I think it was somewhere around 50 bucks. So I got myself 50 ml. I absolutely adore how they package and style their perfumes. In general, Carner Barcelona fragrances to me are basically the better side of what I hope the designer market would be like. They are very wearable, they are very charming. Some of them are not as long-lasting as the modern consumer prefers, but I must say that the heavier compositions that they have in their line, including Parfum and Megalium, are quite long-lasting. So, Megalium. It's not as incensey as Parfum, and if you're really looking for something just piercing with incense, I would go for Parfum. But if you love the wood cabin, kind of like freshly built wood cabin kind of feel, this is just astonishing. I just want to dive with my nose into the bottle and just swim there for like a few nights. This is very much freshly cut wood smell to me. Probably has more nuances than that, but I'll know about it more when I wear it. So very, very excited that I finally have it in my collection. I've been looking at it for probably 5 months, no less than that. Another one that I got the second time around, if you remember my review of Atelier Bloem, it's a fairly rare niche house. It's very hard to find it on a good sale or a good deal online. Yet I find that their blends are on par with L'Artisan Parfumeur and some of those kind of intricate yet very elegant, maybe Hermes in a way, you know, the kind of blending that is very elegant, not overly boiled in kind of like licorice sweets, like the opposite of that. And the good news are that Atelier Bloem currently can be found in certain discount stores around the States, be it TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I found a few. I did a whole review if you're interested. Here I'm just going to show you. I ended up returning the bottles because I found a kind of similar perfumes in my existing collection. I just couldn't quite pull the trigger even for that discount. But a couple of weeks back, I went back to Marshalls and I saw Half Moon, which is a very favorite jasmine, like the way that you do summery jasmine that is not overly sweet or indolic. I found it on even deeper discount. It was on clearance for 40 bucks. And here I gave up, like, sure, you're going with me. So for those of you who haven't seen the review, here's just briefly what the packaging looks like. Very simple, very minimalistic. A lot of testers of niche houses look like this, so there's almost no design, no any kind of money spent on the packaging. Just letting you know up front, somebody cares about it, somebody don't. Fairly recognizable, unique bottle shape. I appreciate that. I really do enjoy when niche houses still pay some attention to the branding when it comes to packaging as well. And the Half Moon to me is a much more wearable version of Atelier d'Orange, Jasmine and Cigarettes. Because that one is a little bit more austere, a little bit more harsh, a little bit more cigarette buds, kind of a wet cigarette buds like with jasmine. Here, there is still of that kind of wet, a little bit sharp edge that reminds me of the cigarettes in the Atelier d'Orange version, but the central here is very thin, elegant jasmine. It's not overly sweet, it's not indolic, it doesn't have any of those animalic facets that some people like, some people don't. So to me, this is pretty much perfect. Perfect summery jasmine, the kind of jasmine if you're looking for clean, non-sweet, refreshing, but not bitter type of jasmine. Absolutely love it. And for $40, now we're talking. The next two are gonna be, nobody's gonna be surprised, are Histoires de Parfums. I got myself 2 testers. Fragrance Bita Canada is the #1 perfume discount store for me right now. The kind of selection that they have and the kind of prices they sometimes have, even FragranceNet or Perfume.com can't match. So, and they have a very wide selection of Histoires de Parfums, which is quickly becoming a bit of an obsession of mine. So I got myself 2 testers because I couldn't resist. The prices were too good. So first one that I got is Music Hall, Olympia Music Hall. It's basically supposed to smell like a century-old theater halls. So a little bit of dust, a little bit of kind of like wetness or muskiness, a little bit of powder, a little bit of a mix of all kinds of smells that are left by the visitors. Olympia Music Hall, Le Parfum. You know, it it does bring certain memories, I'm gonna say. It's not in any way a literal interpretation of old seats in a movie theater or like a opera, but it definitely has some of that backstage feel. I need to study this more. Very intriguing, very niche kind of perfume. I'm not sure if I can recommend it to like everyone in terms of a blind buy, but if you do like dusty, powdery perfumes that, you know, like anything that makes you think of a very old big library or opera, going to opera, this is really, man, this is a transformative kind of perfume. It really transforms the environment around me into something else. But it's more of a perfume as a picture rather than perfume for seduction or perfume to the office or perfume to a date. This is a scene in a movie that you're becoming a part of when you wear it. It's very excited. Like, needless to say, by now, if any of you have been with me for any period of time, you know that I'm a sucker for kind of transportive type of perfumes, transcendent, the ones they take you to different places and times, almost allow you to live a different lifestyle for a short period of time within your comfort zone. Very interesting. And the second one that I got is from their precious metals collection, and this is edition rare Veni. So they have Vedi, Veni, what's the third one? Rosem? I think so. Rose gold. I kind of regret that I didn't get the Rosem. I only got the Veni because I had to stop somewhere. I like spent so much money in the past 2 months. It's kind of ridiculous. So it was like I artificially prevented myself from getting more of them, and decided that I should like at least give one a try from each line and see if I want to explore more. So the precious metals, I really enjoy the coloring and kind of reflection from all of the chrome surfaces inside the bottle. So here we also have 60 ml. Okay, let's give it a spray. I already wore them a few times, maybe once or twice, but I don't really have settled impressions yet. Kind of warm, aromatic in the way that opiums and samsaras can be like. Somewhat tardy. There's some kind of golden verse slash a little bit tardy, zesty, I don't want to say sour, presence in it. I don't quite know what it is yet. I need to look at the pyramid. But overall, it's kind of an aromatic, woody fragrance, very unisex. It's not too austere, it's not too bitter, it's not too spicy, and it has a tinge of zesty sweetness to it. Interesting. So yeah, and this is what I like to do, right? Because when they package their perfumes into bottles, they kind of like cut them in half. So the full size would be 120 ml. These are 260s, and you can like stack them. They stack so nicely. It's danger. It's dangerous because they're very collectible in the way that they are designed, marketed, and packaged. The next one is going to be a collection of decants, some of which were gifts from my beloved subscribers and some of which I actually got myself. Okay. The friendly gift, the decant of Jil Sander number 4. Classic perfume by Jil Sander. I think it was her first, wasn't it? No, the number 4 kind of suggests maybe it's the 4th, I don't know, but it's one of the oldest perfumes that the brand has. The brand is particularly famous in Germany, then probably the United States, but like that's a very delayed success, I would say. I think Europe was championing Jil Sander's designs, it's a fashion designer, and their perfumes way before they got to the United States soil. This is a sweet ambery tuberose. The sweetness is not cloying, it's not candy cane kind of, it's not sugary. It's more of cognac with liquor type of sweetness. The only concern that I have here that I do feel there's a lot of tuberose in the heart, and tuberose give me headaches. But we'll see. Maybe, like, I keep trying to develop tolerance to tuberose so I can wear it, because otherwise I have to basically let go of a third of all perfumes in the world. I'm still hopeful that I'll be able to win in the war between tuberose and my senses, but we'll see. So Jil Sander number 4, I would say, is one of those classic ambery tuberose perfumes. It doesn't cost anything. It's like $20–30 online, and it does have kind of like a seal of quality blend. So if you're looking for a quality semi-sweet ambery tuberose perfume that reads like polished and well made, Jil Sander number 4 is a really good candidate, and I really love how clean and high quality their bottle designs are. Okay, the next one, I think it was also a gift from my subscriber, Aerin. It's Aerin Honeysuckle, Mediterranean honeysuckle, no less. I love the smell of honeysuckle. I lived in apartment complex once that had honeysuckle bushes basically surrounding the whole place, and the smell of it in the summer was intoxicating. I dream of having gardenia, jasmine, I don't know, somewhere like a lemon tree, and honeysuckle just everywhere in my garden. That would be my dream. I would bathe in honeysuckle. So here we get a little bit of those marine, slightly lemony, more like lime with bergamot, kind of salty / bergamoty notes wrapped with honeysuckle to give it a little bit more lift, to make it a little bit more elevated and fresh. Beautiful perfume, but Aerin prices are quite up there for something that, I mean, similar to Jo Malone's. To me, they're almost like indistinguishable, though I do prefer some of the Aerin blends more than Jo Malone's. But if you like Jo Malone prices and the way that they blend perfumes, you will probably love almost anything by Aerin. But for me personally, it's a bit overpriced for what it is. But it's delightful, truly delightful. It's like a beautiful morning kind of fragrance. Very cheerful. Okay, where do I go next? Oh, okay. This is an exclusive, a high-end Bulgari perfume. This is like a little vial. I do love that they style them still, even though this is like basically a tester, like a little sample. So here I got as a gift from a subscriber Roubinia by Bulgari. If you check out their bottle designs, they are like truly works of art, sculptural creations. Roubinia, to me, I already wore it once, and this is a reminder, it's a very beautiful, what you would think of dark orchid kind of vanilla. It's not incensey, it's not spicy, it just has this a bit of kind of black orchid, or what we consider orchid type of accord. It's not too caramelly, it's a sweet vanilla, but it pulls with a few kind of a little bit smokier facets of vanilla. Very good stuff. I mean, I could totally see myself with a full bottle of this, but I'm scared even looking up how much it costs. Thank you so much. It's so nice. What does it remind me? It really reminds me of something that I already smelled before. Definitely not that expensive. You know, I'll be looking because I feel I recognize the profile. All right, we gotta move on. Like I've been like sitting here trying to recognize it and kind of find a cheaper comparison, but this probably will be a topic of a future video. Really delightful, very seductive, very kind of, if I had to compare, kind of Elie Saab-esque type of perfume, because it's dark, sweet, but very rounded. There are no like sharp edges or any kind of it doesn't fall apart into notes. It's very tightly rolled together. That's interesting. Good stuff, good stuff. The next one is Sospiro Cappricio. The the South Italian niche is infamous for making everything out of velvet, gold, glitter, crystals, and more and more and more. It's very kind of like it's very reminiscent to me of the way that Arabic brands decorate their perfumes. So every time I look at Sergioff and like other sort of South Italy inspired perfume creations, it's just like more is more. Give it more, like make it gold, put a column here, put like a crown there, add the crystals and make it dark red velvet. This is like what kind of perfumes they make, and they are very true to how they smell and how they're packaged. So Sospiro Cappricio is, you know, oddly enough, makes me think of comparing it with Music Hall. They do share something in common. The Cappricio by Sospiro is a little bit more gourmand and a little bit sweeter, but they do have this kind of like dusty, really old, heavy, red velvet curtain kind of feel to them. Delicious, and I think it's gonna be beautiful for fall and winter, especially winter. The next one that I got from a subscriber of mine, oh gosh, I'm so spoiled, I'm so happy. These are the perfumes that are like impossible to sample unless you're in some crazy Abu Dhabi or Moscow duty-free. Dolce Gabbana Premium Line Velvet Desire. I was curious about this line. I do like how they're packaged, but I was a little bit concerned about their longevity. A lot of people online saying that the premium line, like the exclusives by Dolce & Gabbana, are elegant, but they don't really last very long. Well, okay. This is the kind of tuberose that just can kill me in 5 minutes. It's like the abundance of every sweet note that you can find in white flowers. It's gardenia, tuberose, jasmine, and I think just like all of it made heavily blended with very sweet whipped cream, or maybe even like condensed milk. Oh, it's like sweet flower overdose. Why is it called velvet? I will never understand, because to me it's so cloying, sweet, flamboyant, unapologetically luscious, but I can't really tolerate that much tuberose. And like, I'm very curious, what is in the accord of tuberose that I'm so reactive to? Okay, and this is the full bottle that I got from, again, Fragrance Bita Canada. They like recently, they've had the best prices of all for the brands that I'm interested in. So I got myself one exclusive by Dolce & Gabbana. I already removed the wrapper, so it also comes with a wrapper, plastic wrapper. And when you open it, it's surely enough, again, Italy. Especially South Italy, they are all about the velvet and gold, aren't they? It's very, very classic Italian rouge. Look at that. Black velvet, the gold, heavy metal plugs, and obviously the black silk with a golden trim. Okay, Dolce & Gabbana. The one that I got is Velvet Wood. I honestly thought you can't do wrong. If you do Velvet Wood, you can't do wrong in my book. I will always like it, I will always wear it, and I don't care that I have probably 20 versions of the same type of profile in my collection. Oh, this particular version of kind of demure woody scent makes me think of some saffron spice, or maybe even there's some Eastern spices in here, and also a whiff, just a whiff of dried fruits. This is the kind of sweetness that I perceive, like the sweetness of dry apricots. It's not very loud, and in its opulence, I think the best word is demure. It's really bizarre to have such a rich, woody, dried fruits, some Eastern spices, somewhat almost oriental spin on the blend, but yet have a scent that sits so close to the skin and doesn't really have a lot of volume. For some people it might be a bad sign. For me, it's definitely a sign that I can wear it all the time and I can kind of moderate the volume as I please. For example, let's compare it with the Megalium, right? Because somewhat, I wouldn't say similar, but they're kind of like in the same vicinity in the olfactory space. But Megalium has much brighter, sharp, fresh cut wood type of note, and it just has a lot of projection. While the Velvet Wood by Dolce & Gabbana, it's just oddly nude. So I presume there are probably some kind of skin-like musks here that calm down the potential prickliness and loudness of woody notes. This is the most nude, woody, spicy kind of perfume that I have in my collection, I think. This is quite extraordinary that I can call a velvet wood, spicy wood perfume, to say that it's a very good addition to my nude perfume collection. For me, this is a comfort zone type of perfume, like a very cozy cashmere sweater, but with the facets, of slight skin-like muskiness, woody notes, very elegant and a little bit rounded by a bit of powder. Very elegant and surprisingly modest. I would have, given the kind of packaging that it has, to be honest, I would have expected something extremely loud and probably tuberose centric, because I do find that a lot of Italian brands overdose on the tuberose and their perfumes to give them that much more oomph, that much more pizzazz straight out of the bottle. And the last one was a small but generous sample of a perfume that I specifically saved for the last, because after I spray that, I will have to basically clear the room, open the windows, and I don't know, figure something out. Because this is Baraonda by Nasomato. Nasomato is infamous for how beast mode like their perfumes are. It's very intentional. It's part of their appeal to a wider market. But when it comes to Baraonda, it holds a very special place in perfume lovers' hearts, especially in Eastern Europe. And I do know why. This is the smell of the 5th bottle of wine around 3 a.m. Undeniably so. This is one of those, I don't know if ever you tried ever, There are all kinds of wines that are not necessarily made of grapes. They're like, you can make these kind of berry infused red wine blends, and you can like ferment it yourself, and a lot of people do, especially in Eastern Europe. And a lot of those wines, they do have this kind of like even more sour, but with this kind of berry zesty sweet slash sour twist. You know, like you think of like adding blackberry, blackcurrant. When you ferment real grapes with all these sweet sour berries, the resulting kind of like homemade wine smells exactly like that. Or alternatively, after this dries down, because I wore it once and I was horrified that after about 2 hours, it starts smelling like you've been drinking all night and you woke up and you didn't have an opportunity to take a shower. It's that 5th bottle of wine. And at that point, right now it smells divine, just divine. The opening of Baraonda it's just unbelievably, it's kind of like this luscious, luxurious debauchery. Like you've cleared your weekend. You know you're not gonna be going to a museum tomorrow, you know what I mean? And you're just ready for like the biggest party of all times. And that's the opening. Unfortunately, the progression of this perfume is so realistic that it really does look like that second or third day of endless partying and drinking, when all of the lusciousness and luxuriousness of the atmosphere and the smell surrounding it is well gone, and now everything smells just like with this sour kind of spoiled grapes. And after the dry down, like after I experienced what I smelled like, I caught a whiff of what I smelled like about 2 or 3 hours later. I was mortified, to be honest. And to this day, Baraonda is, for me, is this kind of like hate and love type of perfume, because I adore just how boozy, crazy it really, and crazy fun it really smells at the beginning. But I really don't want people to think that I'm like a stage 4 alcoholic when I'm like out and about, to be honest. And by all means not office safe. I'm afraid that not all people will be able to appreciate that this is a perfume olfactory creation, and some people might actually think one of the people in the room have been like excessively drinking for 4 days. Just saying, just a fair word of warning. But you know, but like with a lot of bestsellers that are controversial and scandalous, be it certain Kilians or Delina by Parfums de Marly, where like musky lychee accord can give whiffs of kind of like sour body odor, you know, like the sour sweat. The same with Baccarat Rouge, that definitely gives like, it's like half and half. Half of the human population smells the cotton candy sweets, and half of the population smells like rotting, changing station kind of garbage, you know, like in the emergency room. So Baraonda is just the same, and I do smell both parts of it, for better or for worse. And I do love it, and I can't wear it, at least not anywhere where I'll be contacting with people, because I really don't want people to get the wrong idea. To me, the smell of these kind of like 5th, 6th bottle of wine after like nobody should be drinking anymore at that ungodly hour, it's so realistic that it makes me feel uncomfortable. But it's also very realistic and fun at the beginning, just like any party, any truly decadent party is. So I'm torn. I'm happy that I have like, what is it, probably 2 or 3 mil. I'll be secretly indulging in the bounds of my own house, but I probably won't be buying a bottle or wearing outside. Alright guys, so this is the last epic haul of perfumes for a while. We'll see how the time goes. I know better now than making any like hard promises, but I do plan to really start diving into my 200 plus bottle collection. I have probably like lists that long with all kinds of brand reviews and, you know, tops and rankings and appropriate kind of like collection reviews for you. I will be working on that probably in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll see. That means that there are more better videos coming very soon. You let me know in the comments below what kind of videos you're looking for. Maybe like there are certain notes or certain reviews of brands that it's hard to find online, or you're looking for additional information. I hope I can be at least of some assistance to you if I can. And yeah, I think this is very big chunk of perfumes added to my collection over the last summer. So my job right now is to really get my hands on all of this, use up and group a lot of reviews about the perfumes that I bought, what I think of them, do they stay, do they go, because a lot of those are blind purchases. And once I'm clear with kind of perfumes I'm willing to let go from my collection, then probably, you know, we'll like replenish and do like healthy rotation of some bottles out, some bottles in. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be waiting for your feedback, for your comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next video.